I ain't got any barbecue on my lips. I just eaten some, believe it or not, Texas barbecue chips. I don't care for pepper, but I thought I'd try them. I read the label on the bag of chips wrong. I thought it said a pinch of pepper. I got back to the house, it said punch of pepper. I'm not crazy over pepper, but them were good chips. Texas. Anyway, I made a video about this about a year ago. I want to update the video. You know, I never, and if you gave me a lie detector test after this video, I would pass it with flying colors, because I'm telling the absolute truth here. I'm just being as honest as I can. Nothing personal against nobody. Everybody's different. But I never could. And you could put me in a room with 100 heroin addicts, and you could also set a 2-liter Pepsi, Coke, or Mountain Dew, and I would choose that 2-liter soft drink. I would choose the Pepsi, Coke, or Mountain Dew any day over heroin. I never, or whatever the drug is, I never could. Just not my thing. I never could get into dope. You know, caffeine in those soft drinks gives me plenty of buzz. I've got a mild, gentle buzz on now. I've been drinking Kroger's brand cola all day, 2-liter. I drank a 2-liter in like 4 hours. And I'm a soft drink lover. But I never could get into dope. It just, personally, I think it's got to be born into you. It's your genetic makeup. I think if you give somebody dope and they don't like it, and I've known some people in the past to do that. I think it's not in their genetic makeup. I really believe that. It's either that old saying, either you're born with it, either you got it or you don't. And I'm a firm believer in it. I think it's got to be born into you. But I never could get into heroin, cocaine, any kind of dope. It just never turned me on. Ain't that amazing? Nah, I don't care. Just like I just mentioned, a room full of dope heads. I don't care if you could prove I'd feel a million times better. It just never did. Drugs never did turn me on. Nah, I get plenty of buzz from the caffeine in the soft drink. That satisfies me 100%. I just not because how I was raised, not because of the dangers. I just never could get into dope. It just never was my thing. You may call me crazy, you may call me stupid, or you may be proud of me. You know, I don't care how you think of me. It's just my way. I never could get into, and I would take a lie detector test to that fact. And let you give me. They say, I've always heard this. You give somebody a couple volumes, and I've heard that you could beat a lie detector test. Well, you could give me a blood test to make sure I'm not on no prescription drugs, so the lie detector test would be more accurate, and I could prove I'm telling the truth. I'm just being as honest. You know, I won't mention no names. I got a couple relatives. That doesn't mean they're bad people, but I remember they was telling me one time when they was a teenager, they tried a few dopes, and I never did go into if they got hooked on it or not. You know, that's all they told me. But me, you know, and they're my relatives. Oh, they're good. You know, that's been years ago. They're good people now. Well, they was then, I'm sure. But anyway, I never even had the urge to try. I wish I could try to get this traffic noise out of this video. I just never did have the urge to try. It just never, dope just never did. It never was my thing. Ain't that incredible, amazing? I'm sure it's all up here. Like I said, I'm a firm believer. I personally believe you got to be born with that gene. I've been around all kind of people in dope, you know, in school and out in the so-called real world, and I always did think the bark was worse than his bite there. But anyway, that's beside the point. Dope never turned me on. Nay, you give me a 2-liter Pepsi, Coke, or Mountain Dew in my hand, and I'm perfectly satisfied. There's plenty of buzzing in that caffeine. Like I just said, I'm buzzed out on caffeine now. But I know it's safe. But that has nothing to do with drugs. Even if drugs were proven to be 100% safe, it just never did turn me on to do so-called hard drugs. It just never did turn me on. The caffeine been plenty for me. I've been on this earth 55. In all those years, I never had an urge for dope. No. Lord, just